Yo, welcome everyone, Sanjay Uchiha here and welcome back to the channel. So, of course, today we're talking Boruto episode 176, and honestly, even though I don't think it's going to be an action-packed episode based on the preview, but I said I'd, give it a go ahead and react to it anyway, especially since you guys seem overly receptive of these reaction slash reviews rather than just the plain old reviews. So, here we are. Of course, if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out. Leave a like, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, especially since we're in the aftermath of the Kara activation arc. And guys, once again, it's been a tiring weekend. Honestly, I've been at work like crazy this weekend. One of those rare weekends, honestly. Hence why I know Yashihime live reaction slash review yesterday. But I did watch that episode, it wasn't too bad. So yeah. But anyway, again, thanks for tuning in if you're new here especially, and of course welcome back to the returning subscribers as well. Let's see what the aftermath of the Kara activation arc has to hold. Let's get into it. Extreme. Oh look, a bunch of characters we still don't fully care about. Please don't literally throw the car at him. Okay, she didn't. Blockade of the Aoun Gates. So I should be getting some politics here. Yo, Karma. We did see this in the manga already, and I think in the anime at one point, well, early on in this arc. But, One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. I wonder how many persons have karma on Earth. That's the next thing too. Food for thoughts. And is it that we can expect these karma marks later on in the manga? I mean, these, as I said, these were shown from a long time ago, so this isn't anything new in terms of these symbols here, these karma marks. But it just makes me wonder. Or is, like, for example, like the one with the second one coming from the right, is it like an illustration for the divine tree? Nah, it's definitely karma marks. It just kind of gets me thinking again, what if? Yes, at this moment, brother. We don't want this to be the Konoha show. We want to see the involvement of this in every nation, you see me? Because this is a national issue, well, international issue, to say the least. So, you see me? The way the manga has been right now, things have to change going into the time skip, people, honestly. Alright, cool, Aki. Yes. 今まで俺たちの網に一度も引っかからなかった点です。どのくらい前から存在していた組織なのかすら見当もつかないとは。
真珠の実験に関わってた奴らの消息は一人残らず死亡もしくは行方不明だ可能性は十分にあります
You know, this is what was supposed to sell Kara in the grand scheme of things, people. Like the whole thought that they've been hiding in plain sight is what was supposed to make them interesting yet scary, like a very difficult opponent to really tackle at the same time, and would have ensured things. Well, it would have ensured things wouldn't have remained like the Konoha show as it's been for the longest time. Um, but the thing is, like, as I've been saying, the positives for Boruto really needed to be concentrated in more of like one place. So maybe it was like an anime only series, or even if it was manga, maybe more of the positives that we've been getting in the anime was in the manga as well, and everything was done in a more concise fashion. I feel Car would have felt more credible as a as a threat, which obviously they're building on that with the anime here. What I'm saying is, especially since I did do a video with the Akatsuki versus Car like a month or two ago. Can definitely check that video out. Should be on the channel still. But yeah, you get what I mean. It's just that things needed a more concise, a more tightly knit package, to say the least, to really bring out the looming threat. But I'm liking what they're doing with the anime, honestly. So let's continue. Shikamaru showing that whatever it takes attitude.
鹿丸の懸念はもっともだこの里に住む者だけじゃない毎日里に出入りする人間が何出入りを制限しろってことか
Yo.
カラとの戦いは始まっちまってるんだぐずぐずしてる間に懐に飛び込まれてましたなんて事態だけは避けねえとな生活に大きな影響が出る
Yeah, you know, as black and white are just closing the gates.
その里の人間を守るのが俺たちの仕事じゃねえのかよ
I really like them kind of things, you know, dog. Them things where I really test Naruto as the Hokage if it's so him gonna do, you see me? Yeah, I think we've all experienced that, like having like an injury or something. And you just like itch and you just you can't itch it. Wait, Naru?
結論は今日一日待ってくれねえかいいだろうだが里の門を閉めるかどうか明日までに答えを聞かせてくれよとても手が足りませんよ言い過ぎだぞですが里の安全のため日夜目を光らせておりますそうかしっかり頼むってばよ
I gotta just glance over that. I like this, just Kakashi and Naruto just chilling here.
昔に比べてこの里は風通しが良くなったでも風通しがいいってことはその風に乗った他の門まで入ってくるってことだ勝ってくれるさ7代目
Ah boy. Yeah, sometimes it's rough to make a decision on things on. I should know because I tend to be very indecisive at times. Alright, then came with the innovations. I wasn't really caring much for this whole, weather balloon thing, but it seems like it's going to be like could form part of a new system going forward. Boy, Metal Lee just had to make the breeze blow at the people. Basically like a cell phone tower, essentially. Naruto just did it. Yo.
つまり全てはディーパの企みだ
Wow. One push out of the pan deeper.
あやつにいっぱい食わされた証拠ならある次元よなければくだらぬ夢は見ぬことだ忠告痛み入る
Yo! Yo, it's the episode that was, wow. That was episode 100 and playing this laptop here. Episode 176 of the Boruto anime. And coming off last week's action-packed episode, I thought this was a nice aftermath to everything that we got in the Kara activation arc. Definitely a solid episode. Not much problems with it in the grand scheme of things. As I said, generally speaking, when you have an anime adaptation and it's definitely expanding on the manga material, giving you more context to the events that are in the manga, then all the better. And at the same time, the Boruto anime, which for the longest while has had a issue with having a sense of progression, continues to have that with this episode. So in the grand scheme of things, achieving both those goals, I think this episode is definitely another solid entry in this series, in this car activation arc, which, with the exception of the the purple hair his ninjas, that was them, right? This arc has been great. Like since episode like 166, 167 come up, definitely solid. I've been liking it. But this episode, man, like definitely what we're seeing with this episode, if you're a manga reader, you know this is the foundation or the start of the system that we'll see for Konoha to actually detect persons coming in and out of the village. If you're familiar with the manga, then you definitely know that it's going to form that whole barrier that Ino's clan, the Yamakichi. I forgot Ino's last name, Jano. But yeah, Ino's clan, yeah, it's gonna form the basis for them putting up a barrier that essentially they have a registry of everybody's chakra that's in the village, and anybody that enters like that, it'll be easy for them to actually detect persons that aren't from the village. So yeah, this is the foundation and the basis for that going forward, and I'm sure we're going to see that being established by the end of these next 3 to 4 episodes before the vessel retrieval, the vessel arc starts in December. So I like that they're having extra context and showing the nitty-gritty of how things are developed for that system that we got in the manga when, well, not to spoil anything, but if you know, you know, when a certain somebody came to the village. So yeah, there's that. I also like the whole idea of, even though I didn't care about it too much initially when I was seeing it with Denki, the whole idea of him creating a new communication system that can span across countries, I thought was a nice touch, even though I honestly didn't care about what Denki was doing at first. It does fall in line with the whole theme of technology that the Boruto era is so like it really focuses on that, obviously science, technology, all that jazz and blues, and I can actually see Denki's experiment forming the basis of some communication system going forward into the Boruto manga later on past the time skip. So that's probably something we can look forward to as well. I also did like the idea of globalization for the most part. It kind of seemed like that was kind of like the theme of this episode, based on the problem that Konoha is facing, or the ninja world is facing with Kara. So that was a nice touch, I would say, honestly. As well as just generally speaking, them just discussing Kara, the theme, the tone, just the overall mood of you just seeing Naruto, kind of testing his decision making skills in this situation, being tested as Hokage, not from a combat standpoint. I thought was a nice addition as well. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool seeing that. Anytime they even bring in Kakashi and Tsunade, it's always good to see as well. That's how you know it's serious now, when those persons are brought in, as well as the fact that we're seeing the involvement at least to some extent, of the other great nations. Because as I said during the whole reaction segment, one thing I feel like the Naruto series has always suffered from is, like how Dragon Ball would say, person would say, it's only focused on Goku. And now in Super, it's like Goku and Vegeta time. With Naruto, it's Konoha time. It is KT. Yo, so yeah, I was glad to see the involvement of the other great nations, to be honest, because as I said, given the scope of, given the nature of who Kara, the nature of what Kara truly is, this is an international issue. So having it being focused on Konoha and what's happening in Konoha in the manga has always been, I guess, one of the downsides to me. Even though I think that might change going into the time skip, it's good to see it here and it being expanded on in the anime before then. And of course, in retrospect, giving more, how should I say, credit or importance to previous arcs that kind of felt a bit more self-contained, like the whole, you know, artificial, the fabrications arc in the Stone Village with Mitsuki running away, and the Byakuya gang, of course, being a factor in the whole, you know, is the village too open? Or should we close down the village? Stuff like that. So that was good as well. Of course, Car in itself, I think this is one of those episodes that really highlight the difficulty in dealing with Kara, which I don't think the manga has managed to really highlight to that degree, in that we have persons who are basically hiding in plain sight, and this is one of those episodes that really highlight the, I guess, the seriousness of dealing with Kara and the threat that they possess. I mean, hiding in plain sight, you could be anybody across 5 nations. I think that really highlights the difficulty and the, I guess, the charm in their approach, as at least when it comes down to comparing them with the Akatsuki. So yeah, and as I said, even though I still think to date the Akatsuki have made a bigger impression, have been executed much better, it all comes down to, you know, wishing, or, you know, if the Boruto anime and just the franchise on a whole was a bit more, was packaged a bit more, you know, tightly, probably there was, you know, more sense of progression over the course of the series in terms of the anime at least, then I feel like persons would have warmed up to Kara, the idea of Kara, a bit more. Probably that's just me, probably that's just wishful thinking on my part. But yeah, but all in all, I thought it was a solid episode. From the dialogue to Naruto being tested as Hokage, reinforcement of the themes of technology from Denki, who, that side plot I didn't think was going to be too relevant at all, but it did come through with helping Naruto, you know, make a decision. And of course, there's a sense of progression and actual building on the details and the story points that we have in the manga, and not just any story points, big story points when it comes down to Konoha's surveillance system. And we'll sure, trust me, if you're not a manga reader, you'll be sure to see how that's going to factor in and be of use going into the future, as well as potentially setting up things for a new communication system. Well, it's basically cell phones, like a precursor to cell phones in the Naruto universe, essentially. Well, no, they have mentioned cell phones. You think I'd use that more? I'm pretty sure they mentioned Sasuke having a cell phone, but he doesn't charge it. At least out of chakra and can't charge it, his lightning style. But yo, trust me, I thought it was a good one. I haven't watched the preview yet, so I'm not going to promise to react to the next episode, but considering that we're supposed to be getting some inklings of Kawaki here and there, I just might. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I've rambled on long enough. Again, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe. We've already passed 1,000 subscribers, but we're heading to a goal of 20,000 subscribers by this time next year, so help out Uchiha out. Again, if you're a return subscriber, yo, respect. And you know the thing go in the subscribe help a while now if you're a return subscriber. So yeah, but hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. I'm recording this like after 7 o'clock now as of this recording Sunday morning, so I'm just gonna head into, you know, thumbnail and editing, so hopefully you guys will get it still by the time you guys are having breakfast or waking up. Stay safe and enjoy your week.